Alright, you guys, welcome back. What I've got going on tonight, I wasn't going to upload this, but I thought, somebody might not know how to make this, or somebody might want a little different version. So what I've got, as far as ingredients go, is this is part of leftover beef from when I did the Thai-inspired noodle dish, and I used slivers of this beef. I've got fresh parsley over here I've washed and let it sit and dry, and mushrooms that I've wiped down. These are cremini mushrooms. These are baby portobellos, and they're huge. I wish I would have had these Christmas Eve. I could have stuffed these and it would have been a meal and saved myself the trouble of all the other stuff. No, I'm so glad I did it. Anyway, so I'm going to make beef stroganoff. And so this leftover beef, I've trimmed off all the sinew and the fat that was on the outside. So the dogs are enjoying that. And I'm just going to cut this up into manageable pieces. I've also got some, staying on the healthy side, some no-yolk noodles. These no-yolk noodles, they hold up. You know how pasta falls apart after you've eaten it the first time? These don't do that. They stay really good. They're low, there's no cholesterol, and they're half the fat as regular pasta. And so we're going to do that. And this also calls for burgundy wine. It calls for sour cream at the end, and it's just absolutely delicious. So I'm going to get this meat all cut up, and you can cut it in strips, you can cut it in cubes, you can do it any way you want. These are about 1/2 inch slices, maybe a little less, and I'm just going to get these all, I want them bite-sized, I want them manageable, so it's all good. I'm thinking cubes more than strips. And then this is what we're going to bread and brown off for our stroganoff. So if it's your first time to my pantry, welcome. If it's a welcome back, welcome back. And I love it that you guys stop by to see me and hang out with me for a while. Alright, I'm back. I got the meat all cut up and everything's been trimmed. It's all ready to go. And get happy in the breading, which basically is flour. I'm not going to bread it with anything else. I'm just going to toss it in this Ziploc storage bag with some flour. I'm going to season it once I get cooking. You know, I found that sometimes when you season flour, you end up using too many seasonings and it doesn't go to where you want it to. So if I season it directly, sometimes I feel like I get a better result. So I'm going to lock that bag up and work this through. I don't want it caked on there for any, I just want it a light coating so we can actually get that dusted, and when I brown that off in the olive oil, it'll be delicious. So I'm going to leave that set over there because it still really needs to get to more of a room temperature. It's still pretty cold. And I want to get a mat out that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to get another knife for these vegetables. I wanted to actually do kind of a mini knife review. Barberware. I saw this today, and it's a ceramic knife, and it comes with its own little protective sheath, which is kind of cool. And I thought, well, I'll buy the paring knife and see how I like it before I buy the bigger knife. And I can tell you the handle feels great. This is super sharp, and it's supposed to be sharper than steel. So I actually really like it. Just if you guys see it and you're wondering, go ahead. I do want to reiterate that whenever you're using wine in your cooking, make sure it's something that you're okay to drink with. If you're okay to drink $2 bottle of wine, then you're probably okay to cook with it. I don't think it has to be expensive by any means, but I do believe it should be something palatable because it's going to be concentrated in your dish. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to, these mushrooms have been wiped down and I am going to just slice them up. I want them kind of rustic. These are awfully big creminis, so it's going to be really rustic. And, but delicious. So, and they cook down, really, they cook down pretty fast. You just see them shrink on you and go, whoa. But mushrooms have 100% of your daily vitamin D needs. And I actually was diagnosed with low vitamin D a couple years ago, and I'm getting my blood work done tomorrow to check that. So hopefully it's better, because they did put me on a prescription. And I was taking vitamin D, so that's kind of odd, but you know, it's all how your body reacts. So, here we go. Get these mushrooms, a little quick work of them, and then we'll chop up some celery. I'm going to do some garlic, and I think it needs garlic. And that way when I saute the mushrooms, I'll put some garlic in there. I could actually just use my garlic powder. That's why I go through it so fast, because it's a powder, but it's dehydrated garlic. So when it rehydrates, it's beautiful. It's just like you just pulverize garlic in your dish, and it's amazing. Anyway, now that you know that, let's see. I'm going to cut about half of this bundle that I washed and dried. I love Italian parsley. You can use the curly parsley. I don't think it's quite as flavorful. Now, I just roll it into a cigar kind of mode, or a burrito, whatever you want to do. And then I just give it a rough chop. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I really want a lot of parsley in this dish. It's absolutely wonderful for you, and it adds a lot of flavor. So, you know, I just kind of run my knife through it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it's for home. And even if it wasn't for home, I'd still do it the same way. If I was cooking for anybody, I would still do it the same way. I always say I only know how to be a parent one way, and I really only know how to cook one way, and that's my way. So I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to get my water salted and kind of heated up, and get the pan started to saute off these mushrooms and get our meat browned off. So I'll bring you back when I do that. Alright, so now we're heating up our cast iron. Primarily that's all I cook in. A few years ago I'd gone through the second or third or fourth, maybe sixth really expensive cookware, which, I mean, I'd have to buy it piece by piece, and by the time I got the last piece, the first piece was peeling nonstick on me. And so I did some research about healthy cookware, and you know, I'd always use cast iron because my mom did, but you know, it's heavy. It is heavy. I'm not going to lie, but it adds minerals into our diet. It adds flavor that you cannot repeat anywhere else. I have done dishes that I've done in cast iron, and then turned around and done it in an enamel coated or something that will not leach the minerals out of, and it does not taste the same. So there are certain dishes I will not do any other way. And anymore, it's pretty much all of them except for my favorite red pot over here. I love her. And so I've got my meat that's all been breaded just with flour. I'm going to season it when I get it in here. I don't want to crowd it, but it looks like it might be a little crowded. So we'll leave the rest. We'll do a second batch. Okay? It really was a lot of meat. So how I'm going to season this is I am going to sprinkle on some thyme. I love thyme and beef. Thyme in almost anything, actually. I really do, but it really marries well with beef. And then I've got fresh cracked pepper. I grind this up so I don't have to sit there and twist my grinder forever because I like a lot of pepper. This girl's a little on the spicy side. And then I want a little bit of kosher or sea salt. This happens to be kosher. Not much. And we're going to let that brown off. Now in this other pan over here, I'm going to get my mushrooms started. So, as you saw, I sliced up all those mushrooms. And I did slice up like 4 cloves of garlic. So when I'm ready, I will have that. I almost panicked and thought we were out of fresh garlic, but no fears, we have it. Okay. And this pan's been preheating with olive oil. You know, a lot of times we use butter for this, but I'm trying to be more heart healthy. This has omega-3 heart healthy oil in it. I mean, this is a heart healthy oil. And this pan looks really full, and it is, but it won't be. So now what I'm going to do, when these start cooking down and I know it's safe, I'm going to throw the garlic in there. But for right now, it's black pepper, a couple good pinches of that, fresh cracked black, and a good healthy pinch of the kosher salt. We don't need a lot. And, oh yeah, gotta have thyme, because thyme and mushrooms go hand in hand also. This is one of my husband's favorite dishes, and we have it, actually I can beef, and if you look back on my channel, there's a fast food recipe that I did when I opened up my canned beef and cremini mushrooms in its stock, and then I add a couple things and some egg noodles, and I've got stroganoff. And so that's my pantry storage stroganoff. It's really easy. It takes literally the time it takes to cook pasta. Alright, so I wanted to bring you back so you didn't miss the fact that the mushrooms are really pretty much all sauteed down here. I've got my water back here. It's almost up to a boil. I've got my second batch of meat. This first batch is right here, and I can't stay out of it. It's delicious. I wanted to make sure that you knew that I went ahead and put the garlic in with the mushrooms. Now, there's no chance of these mushrooms burning because this garlic burning because the mushrooms are down on low now. And so we're just going to infuse all the flavor of that minced garlic. And excuse my full mouth. What a pig. And then I'm going to put about maybe just 3 or 4 tablespoons of the parsley in here to kind of let that essential oil break into the mushroom mixture as well. It's just so delicious. You got to know that this is going to be good. And I can eat it without the pasta, but then usually I need bread, so I'm probably going to do the no yolk, half the fat pasta. I don't need a lot, but anyway, my husband will love it because this is one of his favorite dishes. So I'm going to finish browning this off. I've got it kind of going slow. I don't want to get too crazy with it. And all the brown bits that are on the bottom of this pan, when I put that wine in there and deglaze the pan, it is going to be amazing. The nice thing about cast iron is, you know, you can re-season it pretty easily. I don't generally have a problem with it. I know I've been asked to do a seasoning video and I just haven't had the right opportunity, or, you know, it wasn't in the forefront, and I apologize for that because I think everybody should know how to. Because if you ruin your pan for some reason, or you think you've ruined it, you should know how to fix it. And I did season this up with some kosher salt some black pepper and thyme. Can't have enough of that. And I'm going to put some more thyme in these mushrooms. Oh, it smells delicious in here. So, alright, so right now I have the meat's been browned off. I've added the mushrooms, parsley, garlic, all that mixture, the thyme, and it is so good. And I can tell you I can't stay out of it. So now I'm going to add in this glass of burgundy wine. And what you're hearing is it's just deglazing the pan. That's your opportunity on any kind of cookware, stainless or cast iron, to actually get all the tidbits, the brown bits off of the bottom. So you want to make sure that you don't get it near the flame so it catches on fire. But now I'm going to let this reduce down a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. And the meat is cooked perfectly. Because it's beef, it can be medium rare. I do this with venison and elk too, and it's absolutely wonderful. We're already getting a thicker sauce because we floured our meat. We dusted the meat with some flour. So actually, I might get a little more burgundy. It smells amazing. I want it to reduce down a little bit and concentrate the flavor of the wine in there, and then we'll add the sour cream. Alright, finished product. I'm getting my husband's plate ready. This is the beef stroganoff I made after you cut in the sour cream, turn the burner off. You don't want that sour cream to break. What happens is it looks like it's curdled. It's not. It still tastes okay, but you don't want to do that. Too high a heat with milk products will make it happen. Sprinkled a little bit of the leftover parsley on top. Ooh, mushrooms. Anyway, I'm going to give it a taste. We got some nice crusty bread there. Wow. So you can taste all the wine that's reduced down. It's absolutely delicious. I hope that this inspires you to maybe do a different dish, or do a dish you haven't had in a long time or you've never tried before. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be anything I've ever done. But it might inspire you or spur you on to do something new. Take care of your family, be more self-sufficient and more self-reliant, and less reliant on restaurants and fast food is my motto in 2012, which it always has been, but I think I'm really going to focus on some of that. So I hope you come back, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you give me a thumbs up if you like this recipe. Okay, YouTube, I'll see you next time. God bless.